Hi everyone, I'm Joe Auriemma, and welcome to YesNetwork.com's American League Awards Show. Today with me is Glenn Giangrande, and Glenn, let's talk about, first and foremost, the AL MVP. I think this is pretty much a foregone conclusion who's going to win it.
Unless you've been living under a rock somewhere for the past couple of months, Alex Rodriguez, he's easily the runaway winner. He just dusted everybody pretty much. I think that if Detroit would have put up more of a fight to get into the playoffs, then Magglio Ordonez would have more of a case, but that just didn't happen, and A-Rod is unquestionably, in my eyes, the eventual winner.
He's the first player since 2001 to hit 50 home runs and 150-plus RBIs since Sammy Sosa did it that year. He's had 9 home runs that have tied games, 20 home runs that have taken the lead in games. He's had 15 RBIs to tie games. This guy is he's unbelievable this year.
There's nothing else to say. The numbers are staggering.
If A-Rod doesn't have that type of year, what are some other candidates you think for the AL MVP?
Well, as we said, Magglio Ordonez had an excellent year.
Right.
One guy who I don't think would finish in the top 3, but who I think deserves a lot of credit for the season he put together, Mike Lowell from the Boston Red Sox. David Ortiz struggled in the first half of the season, turned it on. Manny Ramirez was out of the lineup for an extended period of time in the second half. Lowell, this is a guy that was just a throw-in when they got him from the Marlins prior to last season, and he put together an excellent season. I think he definitely deserves some props.
Especially that Manny Ramirez has gone down with a lot of injuries this year. He's actually, outproduced David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez in RBI this year, which is it's unfathomable. When you think of the Boston Red Sox going into a season, you don't think Mike Lowell is going to be their top RBI guy. Let's go to a race in the American League that's probably a lot tighter than what the American League MVP is going to be, the AL Cy Young Award. My pick is Josh Beckett. I think that Beckett's had an unbelievable season. He's got 20 wins, 2 more than anybody in the league. He's pitched in some big situations. I give my award to Josh Beckett.
I think Beckett's going to win, too, even if Chien-Ming Wang does get to the 19-win mark. I think Beckett's still got this locked up. But I think 2 guys that really deserve credit and who I think should finish in the top 5 are 2 pitchers for the Cleveland Indians, CC Sabathia and Fausto Carmona. Heading into the season, Cleveland was really depending on Cliff Lee and Jeremy Sowers, Lee a veteran, Sowers a youngster, to try and step up and solidify roles in the rotation, 2 and 3 starters, behind Sabathia. Now, neither of them were able to for injury problems and inconsistency problems, and that put more weight on Sabathia. He responded with an excellent season, but Carmona. Last year, Carmona was, let's be honest, he was a bit of a flame out as a closer in his attempts to close. He was a bit of a punchline towards the end of the season, but he came back this year with a fantastic campaign.
And leads the AL in ERA this year with a 3.03 ERA. Some season he's having. You even talk about a couple of other candidates. John Lackey out in Anaheim, he's having a terrific season for the Angels, and as you said, Chien-Ming Wang for the Yankees. He should be right there in the voting as well. All right, let's move to, right now, the AL Rookie of the Year and talk about, there's really only 2 candidates for this, Delmon Young and Dustin Pedroia. Not much in the way of rookies this year.
Not at all.
My choice is Delmon Young. He's had a great year. He's played in all of the Tampa Bay Devil Ray games this year, 157. He has 16 outfield assists. He's got that big arm out in right field. And he's batting, over 290. He's got over 90 RBIs. Delmon Young has a big future ahead of him.
Well, something really important that doesn't really factor into the numbers is the maturation factor. Delmon Young, he's had so many well-publicized, problems, personal issues through his development with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and it's good. It actually is good to see him kind of overcome those issues. Put together a solid year in which he was, a good citizen. You didn't hear anything bad about him.
Would you now say that the race is between Dustin Pedroia and Delmon Young?
I absolutely would say that.
Who are you going to go with?
I mean, batting average-wise, April and May, Pedroia struggled heavily. I think that's going to push him over the top. And I think he will get the nod, also because Boston is a winning team. Tampa Bay is not necessarily. But I definitely don't take anything away from Young at all.
He did hit 172 in the first month, and since then he's hitting 333, which is just tremendous. And he's scored 82 runs. So Dustin Pedroia could win. My pick is Delmon Young. All right, let's go to AL Manager of the Year. You have to give credit where credit is due to Joe Torre. 21 and 29 to start the season. His calm, cool demeanor it just shows what kind of manager he is. And really, he could get the nod, but Eric Wedge really should be the guy to get it with the Cleveland Indians. A 4th-place team last year, 78 wins. Some say the best division in the American League. Maybe not so much with the way the White Sox have played this year, But who do you think is going to win AL Manager of the Year?
Well, I do think Wedge is going to win. Also, you look at, like I said earlier in the show, the injury problems that the pitching staff had. He had to deal with a closer who was just shaky all year in Joe Borowski. There really weren't that many personnel changes from last year to this year either for Cleveland, and so that really, just magnifies the job that Wedge did. But another manager who I think deserves some credit, John McLaren from the Mariners. Mike Hargrove resigned very abruptly, and he kept the Mariners in the race a lot longer than I think a lot of people expected Seattle to be. They didn't fade until early September,
right,
and he deserves credit.
I'm going to throw out just awards right now. It's going to be our quick hits. Who do you think should win? AL Comeback Player of the Year.
Carlos Pena deserves it. I think John Lester is going to get it.
NL MVP.
Matt Holliday, Colorado Rockies.
I have Prince Fielder. NL Cy Young winner.
Brandon Webb, Arizona.
I have Jake Peavy, 2.36 ERA, leads the major leagues. NL Rookie of the Year.
I think it's Ryan Braun of the Milwaukee Brewers.
I think that's unanimous.
Hunter Pence was an early favorite, but Braun took it.
NL Manager of the Year.
I think it's got to go to Charlie Manuel from Philadelphia. Just injuries destroyed that Philly starting rotation. Chase Utley was out for a while. He did a great job.
Charlie Manuel did a great job. Don't forget Clint Hurdle out in Colorado and Bob Melvin out in Arizona. Okay, that's going to do it, Glenn. Thanks for joining me again. And this is going to do it for this edition of the AL Awards Show. Come back to YesNetwork.com for all of your Yankees, Nets, and sports needs. I'm Joe Auriemma saying we'll see you next time.